Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is The Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my reaction videos. And today we're going to be reacting to the new episode of Death Battle, which just came out, Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Makima from Chainsaw Man. I'm sorry about how late this video is coming out in comparison to other reaction videos. It's just because Death Battle's not doing the early release for members right now, and that means I have to deal with work stuff before I can deal with Death Battle stuff. So hopefully, you know, if they do continue to do the whole just single release, they'll move it to Sunday as opposed to Monday, because I think that would just benefit everyone. It certainly would benefit me because it gives me more time to do stuff like reactions before the work week starts. But, you know, just saying, if it doesn't happen that way, these late reactions may just become a thing. It's just the way it has to work out. But either way, I'm excited to watch this episode now, partially because I'm really interested to see what Death Battle has to say about this debate, because there are a lot of moving parts, there are a lot of disagreements, and it's just very complicated. So, you know, I'm excited to see what they have to say specifically. And I'm not the most well-versed in terms of Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man knowledge, at least not compared to the really hardcore fans, obviously. And I think Chainsaw Man appeals to me more so just like at first glance, but I can understand the whole complicated relationship that many fans have with Makima, and Gojo just seems like a badass, you know? So I kind of play on both sides in that regard, and I'm not really rooting for one character over the other strongly. In terms of who I think is going to win, it's very hard, because I want to say that just in a fight, like not even just a fight to the death, but a fight, then I'd want to side with Gojo. I feel like he has just better and stronger abilities overall. Death Battle may disagree, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. However, Makima does have some really frustrating abilities that could honestly feasibly turn the whole thing around. Like, you know, there's some disagreements about whether or not she could control Gojo right from the jump, you know, depending on how you interpret her abilities. There's also the fact that she may not even be able to be killed in this fight because, you know, again, the whole contract stuff, which I'll leave for Death Battle to explain. They can say it better than I can. But the point is, like, there's a lot of stuff that Makima has, and she has her own win cons too. It's not like it would be impossible for her to kill Gojo, to my knowledge. So, you know, if she really has that much stamina, then she could feasibly win if Gojo can't just kill her really quickly, or kill her over and over and over and over and over again before she kills him. Again, it's because of the contract. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, which you should, because you should have seen this episode before you see the reaction, but, you know, they'll talk about it. But I kind of still want to side with Gojo, because I feel like there are some abilities that might be able to give him the win. Like, there's the whole hollow purple stuff, which atomizes you, and the unlimited void. However, if Makima wins, then it's like, whatever, you know, like, that's fine. I'm not going to get upset over that. You know, as long as the conclusion makes sense, you know, then I'm fine with whatever they say, because, like, this is just such a complicated fight. It really is up to interpretation in multiple ways, and I trust them to analyze these characters better than I could. I'd have to be the most naive motherfucker in order to think otherwise. So I'm just excited to see what they have to say. So without further ado, let's get started.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and HelloFresh.
All right, cool.
Satoru Gojo, Jujutsu Kaisen Sorcerer Sensei.
Makima,
Nice.
Chainsaw Man's head of Tokyo Public Safety.
These two paranormal mentors are so strong that they change the very worlds they exist in.
He's
Is that like the main connection between them?
And it's our job
I'm sure
to
they
analyze
have
their
more.
weapons, armor, and skills.
And I feel like I really got
got
to pay attention here,
Death Battle.
because I feel like even the smallest details could turn the whole thing. So let's go.
Japan, December 7th, 1989. Satoru Gojo was born, and the world changed.
And in the
Okay.
world of Jujutsu Kaisen, invisible, cursed spirits born from negativity threaten humanity.
So it's up to the
That's
Jujutsu
not good.
sorcerers to do battle with them.
And what better
Good.
way to learn the trade than to sign
I
up
certainly
for
would not want to
Tokyo
do that myself.
Jujutsu High.
At this institution, a sorcerer will learn to harness their cursed energy, or the spiritual manifestation of intense
More
emotion.
spiritual
It's
energy
like Ki,
stuff.
But if Ki desperately needed therapy.
There you go,
Sorcerers
yeah.
can use their physicality and perform
I like how they still have their own
devastating
differences,
cursed
you know.
techniques.
We can appreciate
Anything from
that.
voodoo dolls to swapping places with mere claps.
And lucky for
All right.
humanity, Satoru Gojo's the
He dislikes
best sensei
Among
a
Us?
sorcerer could ask for.
There's got to be
Gojo
something
isn't
behind
just
that.
the best. He's known as the strongest. His very
Right.
birth forced the strength of curses to exponentially rise. Like witnessing a world record get broken, cursed society shifted to match the might of Gojo's presence.
Wow, okay, so that's kind of what they were talking about, changing the world.
The art of the Riz, the hoops, and the curse murdering, all alongside Suguru
Yeah,
Geto,
the Holy
Sorcerer
Trinity, right?
BFF.
Together, they planned on changing Jujutsu society for the better.
And if anyone could do it, Gojo could. Thanks to his bloodline, he got one of the most busted anime powers ever, Limitless.
Is that right?
Limitless grants Gojo a nigh-perfect defense by actualizing the very concept of infinity.
It creates an infinite space around himself, stopping anything coming his way. The dude is literally untouchable.
Kind of. Gojo tailored Limitless to automatically detect an object's mass and velocity. As the difference between himself and an object decreases, Limitless halves the object's velocity.
Yep.
It's like Zeno's paradox.
Think of it this way. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, first you gotta go halfway, then you gotta go another halfway, then another
Right.
and another. And
Yeah, you'll
so
never
on.
reach the
With
end.
Limitless, you'll never arrive. Just like my alimony payments.
Hence, infinity.
Which is such like a
it might
bullshit
sound
power in and of
complicated,
itself,
basically
but
creates a
what are you gonna
spatial force
do?
field around Gojo at all times.
Techniques on
Gotcha.
this level would burn out other sorcerers in seconds. That's where Gojo's incredible 6 eyes come in. They let him
Right,
see
yeah.
and near perfectly
A ton of
control
energy,
cursed
right?
energy at the atomic level. So he'll basically never run out of juice in a fight. He isn't just
Okay,
built different,
basically
he was
never run
born
out.
different.
6 eyes
We'll see
and
about
Limitless
that.
gave Gojo the power to manipulate space itself. Gojo's lapse blue technique attracts and condenses space into singularities.
Yeah.
With reversal red,
Yeah,
Gojo
red does the opposite.
repelling space. Think push and pull. But
Yep.
you may be asking, how does one accomplish this with cursed energy? With math!
Really?
Curses!
Exactly! Cursed energy is typically negative, like with blue, but when multiplied by itself, negative cursed energy becomes positive.
Right, yeah.
Red.
Oh, strawberry and blueberry.
So, what happens
No.
when you combine a positive and a negative?
Grape?
0. And by
Well, doesn't it just stay a
combining
negative?
reversal red and lapse
I guess if it's
blue,
equal, then
Gojo
it would be
creates
0, yeah.
hollow purple.
I was thinking
An enormous
multiplying
ball of
it.
Curse energy that literally applies the concept of 0 to an opponent, crushing and repelling them into nothing.
Gojo's
Yeah.
a walking cursed Swiss Army knife. Levitation, teleportation, even expanding Limitless to fry his enemies. Gojo can also use positive energy to heal humongous wounds, and he's constantly refreshing his brain with it 24/7 to keep up with all of this.
Right.
Still, there's one
I'm wondering
technique
if that's
that costs
passive
more
or
cursed
not,
energy than anything
to help
else
with
in the
Makima's
sorcerer's
powers.
repertoire.
Every sorcerer is born with an innate domain, a mental world shaped by their mind and heart.
Add
Yep.
cursed energy to it, and these domains can be manifested physically. A technique
So-
called
such
domain
cool imagery, but also kind of
Every
weird.
sorcerer worth their salt needs one, and you know damn well Gojo has the scariest, unlimited void. You get
Mm-hmm.
caught in this, your ass is grass.
Exposure to unlimited void overloads your consciousness with a stream of infinite information.
Yeah.
A mere fifth of a second of exposure can leave a normal person in a vegetated state for months.
Too bad it requires so much energy you can only do it like once a day. Oh wait, except for Gojo,
Yeah.
who's done it multiple times in a row.
I was about to
Thanks
say,
again,
Gojo's done it
Quite
more
frankly,
times than that
Gojo was
before.
getting so strong that the axis of the Jujutsu world began to turn on him. Like the meta of a fighting game defined by one broken
Is that
character,
Melee?
he defined
Or is that
the
Brawl? I
hierarchy
played a lot of
power
Brawl.
in the sorcerer world.
Actually,
He
no,
alone was
I
the
don't know.
honored one.
His mere presence can cause earthquakes. He outran sonic explosions and applied cursed energy within a microsecond.
Gojo has been
Damn.
repeatedly stated by many to be the strongest sorcerer there is.
Yeah.
That includes his ex-student Hikari, who can dodge lightning, or this little volcano-headed curse, Jogo, the embodiment of humanity's fear of fire, who can bring down city-shattering meteors, and Gojo kicked his
832
ass with zero
kilotons.
effort.
But strength alone was
That's
not
approaching a
enough to
megaton.
fix his cursed world. When Geto rejected Jujutsu Society to forge his own justice, Gojo's philosophy changed. Instead of doing everything himself, he would teach a new generation of sorcerers to carry the torch when he could not.
Good.
It's all about setting an example. If it means a world where his companions can stand shoulder to shoulder as equals, who cares if he's got to show off a bit?
All right, cool. So now we got to look at Makima.
Ah, what a beautiful
And see how everything's
day.
gonna
The
connect
sun
together.
Is shining, the birds are singing.
And a giant AK-47 carpet bombed the neighborhood.
What?
The sky
Why?
is blood. Millions are dead.
Why would they
Fear
do that?
Wish it's the end times. Run away.
Calm down, there's no reason to panic. It's just that in the world of Chainsaw Man, devils
Yeah?
exist, and your fear makes them stronger. Never mind. Panic.
Remember that?
Yeah,
spider
that
you
sounds pretty
squeaked at
bad.
Or the last time you cut yourself dicing onions? Now the spider and knife devils are the monstrous products of your nightmares, and they
Okay,
hate you
that is
specifically.
The fearsome
That is
gun
really
devil
rough.
stood as the epitome of terror and destruction.
I would not
and
wanna
was
live here.
responsible for a countless loss of lives. But a group was formed to combat it and the other devils that plagued humanity. The Devil Hunters.
Live
That
in
makes
Japan
sense.
And get yourself a pesky zombie problem? It's time to call the 4th Division of the Public Safety Devil Extermination.
A government-funded devil hunter unit led by a stone-cold vixen, Makima.
She's dressed like Columbo with a blank stare at a
Columbo
sadistic
again.
chick. She's been in the game for a while and just found herself a new prize.
The union of man and pet devil dog, Denji, the Chainsaw Man.
Right.
Upon meeting
Bark
him,
for
she
me,
gave him
that
a
whole-
choice.
that all-
Live under her
that
as
stuff.
a human dog or die by her hand as a devil.
Sounds sketch.
Which one are you gonna
but
pick?
Denji's brain was set to teenage boy and Makima's hot. So in short order, Makima got a new pet.
Makima
Yeah,
may
well, I
seem
mean, you
terrifying
also just
at
don't
first,
wanna
but
die,
she is
so-
a dog lover and a cinephile. Though you'd be ill-advised to mess with her.
Sure, for her position, you'd expect her to know how to defend herself. Martial arts here, swordplay there, but
Right.
devil hunters like Makima become real threats when they make contracts with devils. A
Yeah,
classic
I would
Faustian
agree that
bargain.
is
Give
taking
something
it
of
up a
yourself.
notch.
The devil gives you power.
She can call death upon anyone she chooses through a complicated ritual and even survive being shot through the head.
Because, as they say in the devil hunter
Well,
world,
kind of
you
like
need your
resurrect
screws
from
loose
being
to
shot,
live.
but yeah.
She might have more than a few screws loose because, in actuality, Makima is a devil herself.
Yep.
Gasp! There's no way this clearly evil character could be a villain in disguise.
The Japanese
Nah,
government
you
has
know,
been keeping a close eye on
now we're getting to the
Makima
background
ever
so
since
late in the
she was born.
analysis.
Rightfully so. She isn't
Also
some
doesn't like
F-tier
buffets?
scrub like
Okay.
the bat or leech devils. She's the control devil,
Yeah.
embodying humanity's collective fear of the oppressor. In a way, she's even more terrifying than the gun devil.
Makima can exert absolute mental control over any creature she views as inferior to her, which is basically
Yeah.
everyone. People,
Yeah.
animals, even other devils become puppets under her command. She can even hijack their senses to listen and see whatever she wants.
As a devil,
Interesting.
Makima's far stronger, faster, and more durable than the average person.
Plus, her
Right.
metabolism lets her slam down as many beers as she wants to. So,
That's cool.
Makima, if you're into countlessly divorced alcoholic rednecks, you know who to call.
By
Yeah,
drinking
actually, that
blood,
lines
she
up
can
pretty
heal
well.
Her injuries, and her sense of smell is so potent that it can spot targets from over 300 miles away.
Not only
Okay.
can she control your mind, but your body too with telekinesis. She can mess up your internal organs or blow you away with finger guns. She doesn't shoot you with invisible bullets. She points at you and then a wound just happens out of nowhere. She
Okay,
controls
that might
all
be able
sorts
to
of
get
things
around
with these
Limitless.
ghostly chains that stab her victims. Once they're hooked,
They
they're easier to
specifically
control.
said that it's
Makima
not
has
a
plenty
non-invisible
of devils in her
bullet.
collection. There's the massive Fox Devil, the future devil for precognition, and a ton of devils that exist just to stab you.
But I'm
Right.
definitely all about the blow shit up devil, the undead party devil, the flamethrower devil, and the unholy matrimony that's the angel devil, which will make
angel
you see
devil.
God before you die.
After about the 20th time, seeing God gets kind of old.
Okay, sure,
like other
fine.
devils, Makima
Be that
can
way,
form
Wiz.
contracts with people to give them power.
But unlike other devils, her control powers allow her to force people into contracts that exclusively benefit her.
Like when she
Yeah.
forced Japan's prime minister into a contract that states, and I quote, any attack made on her will
Here
be
we go.
changed into appropriate illnesses or accidents among Japanese citizens.
What?
The verbiage
Yeah.
of Makima's contract is worded specifically so that she quickly heals from any damage that is perceived to be an attack, transferring said damage to some poor random citizen of Japan.
Oh, man, imagine like taking a shit and Makima gets hit and whoops, guess you're wiping at the pearly gates.
With these
Yeah,
abilities
that's
and
pretty
contracts,
scary.
Makima set out to create the world that she wanted. No more pain, no more war, no more bad movies. The world would be perfect. But
Hey, I would love a
she
world with no
needed
bad
the
movies.
Chainsaw Devil to do so, who just so happened to be living.
Well,
as
some might be
Denji's
fun to
partner.
laugh at, actually.
Yep, that cute doggo is actually the Chainsaw Devil. Oh, talk about shitty luck, kid.
In the depths of
Hmm.
hell, Makima watched in awe as the Chainsaw Devil literally ate devils and eradicated plagues from existence.
Okay.
Because of the Chainsaw Devil.
kinda
In
good,
this
right?
world, concepts like nuclear bombs, HIV, be, and even Nazis do not exist.
Wow.
He literally ate the concept of Nazis out of existence.
However, as Makima didn't see
pretty
Denji or the
based.
Chainsaw Devil as beneath her, she could not directly control him. She needed to manipulate him. So she decided to build Denji up and then tear him down as cruelly as possible.
First, she murdered Denji's found family one by one.
Then she made Chainsaw Man into a public hero, stripping him of the power devils receive by being feared.
Oh, so she can control her precious Chainsaw Devil and make him press backspace on anything she didn't like.
Her telekinetic bangs shot the Chainsaw Devil out of orbit, and they stalemated the Darkness Devil, which embodies humanity's greatest fears.
Makima's stronger than devils like the Bomb Devil, who can easily blow up buildings, or the Typhoon Devil, which made city-spanning storms.
And while fighting the Gun Devil Fragment, this large behemoth moved over 300 miles in a few seconds.
She was pretty much
Mach 46. Okay,
power can make it
that's faster than lightning, right?
Makima's quest
at least the step leader.
A better place through domination, but the truth she was never willing to admit to herself was that she really wanted to understand human emotion. After all, you can't control someone and love them at the same time.
Too bad she never quite found the answer she was looking for when the Chainsaw Man defeated her once and for all by cutting her to pieces, cooking her into a 7-course feast, and fucking ate her?
Believe it or not, the love Makima tried to understand was her undoing. Despite the hell she put him through, Denji still loved Makima in his own way. So
that's
the act of devouring her was its
some crazy
own
devotion.
Act of love and did not count as an attack, bypassing her immortality.
Completely batshit insane. That's Chainsaw Man for you. Who knows, Wiz? Eventually, the Control Devil will come back, though it won't be Makima.
While her path back to hell was paved with good intentions, in the world of devils, it's no surprise that Makima came so close to her ideal future.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little hard to keep all of that straight.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
But we'll see.
But first, a couple of rules for a unique fight like this one.
We'll be considering curses and devils to be comparable beings to avoid arbitrary terminology in their power systems that might make this fight incompatible. We will also consider Gojo and Makima citizens of the same Japan to balance it out.
It's time for a death battle!
Wait, citizens of the same Japan? Wait, hang on, sorry. Citizens of the same Japan. So, I don't think Gojo can win, right? Like, that's what they said. They just said that they're considering them citizens of the same Japan. Which, honestly, like, that in and of itself already seems a little weird to me, because, I don't know. Like the way I almost see it, like, you guys might disagree, but the way I kind of see it is that, like, in the world of Chainsaw Man, Gojo is not one of the Japanese citizens that would need to die in order for that Japan to run out of citizens and Makima vulnerable, because there's no one left to transfer the wounds to. So them fighting each other, I don't really understand why that changes that. You know what I mean? I can understand that they're like where they're coming from for that, but I don't know. Like, to me, like, I never saw Death Battle as like, oh, what if they existed in the same world? I more so saw it as like, you know, just a crossover between two different worlds. And again, in the world of Chainsaw Man, Gojo is not one of the Japanese citizens that would need to die in order for Makima to run out of Japanese citizens. So, okay, that's, I think that certainly makes it easier, I think. Unless Gojo has a way that can, like, basically break the contract. If he can do that, then it's more likely, because there's so many Japanese citizens out there. Like, he'll probably kill Makima, like, a few times, well, quote-unquote, kill Makima a few times, before, you know, he would do something that would break the contract or whatever. But there were so many Japanese citizens that it would actually be more likely that he would not die from that, you know? But if it's the kind of thing where he would need to kill her over and over and over and over and over again, then if you're saying that they're from the same Japan, then I don't think he can win, because he would die before she dies. So, okay. I think then it really comes down to whether or not either of his abilities could kill Makima. Like when I say either of his abilities, I mean either something like Unlimited Void or Hollow Purple. The thing that kind of gets to me, though, is that they didn't really talk about, like, Hollow Purple at length So, which makes me think that they're not really going to focus on it that much, you know? Unless they're doing it like, oh, this is how Hollow Purple works afterwards. But usually I would think that they would kind of explain it a little more thoroughly, kind of like how they explained Makima's, you know, bang attacks, how it's not an invisible bullet, like how it just, she points at you and you explode or whatever, or there's a wound in you. So that kind of makes me think that they're going to say, oh yeah, that bypasses the Limitless, you know? And I think, again, with lightning, I think that's the fastest they said Gojo had, just like being able to scale to characters that can like dodge lightning or whatever. And Mach 400, it was nearly Mach 500. That, I believe, is faster than the step leader of lightning, which is usually what we look at for speed. And they seem to be, I don't know, like around the same ballpark in terms of power, which, I don't know, I actually kind of figured that that Gojo would be like stronger, but maybe not. Again, it's hard to say because they could always be saving something for the end, right? But honestly, based on all of this, it seems like Makima might take this because, like, it seems like Gojo, if it's the kind of thing where you would need to kill like all the Japanese citizens essentially in order to kill Makima, then it seems like he would just end up killing himself first. And I don't know if they went into enough detail for his attacks to kind of make me think ahead of time, oh yeah, this would work because of whatever. Unless they say that him using Unlimited Void like doesn't count as an attack, which I kind of feel like it would because I thought it was more about the intent of the action that determined whether or not it was an attack. But I feel like it would need to work on Makima and essentially, again, like turn her into a vegetable for like months or whatever, and then that counts as a win. Like, that is like a very long incapacitation, so I could see Death Battle saying, oh yeah, that just ends the fight. But I don't know. It also just seems like she might have the stats to keep up. And again, they were talking about it's not invisible bullets. Like, it seems like they're really setting everything up for Makima to win. So based on what they've said, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But again, I don't know. So I'll watch the fight. I'm sure it's going to be a fun fight. And then, cause I might have been missing a few things too. Like, you know, I was talking a lot, so we'll see. But yeah, let's just watch this. Again, I mainly want to enjoy these episodes, right? Not lose my mind over them. So, you know, I watch this show to have fun, damn it. Oh, you're taking her popcorn, man. Hey, Samurai Jack Afro Samurai, that's nice.
Love this part.
It's like the ending.
Right about now. But gotta kill
interesting
you
shot.
instead.
It's got to be a
Let
reference to
curse
something.
do as they please.
Well, it is cool now. They like changed perspectives, like sizes, and he's just chilling out. I mean, I agree with that. Zombies, but I think he can more than handle those.
First technique laps.
He's so lax about it. I love it. Ouch. She's fine. Right. Doesn't get him. And then repel. Alright, okay, we're gonna cut to a Japanese person. Good, and then she comes back, yeah.
But that much won't matter to you soon.
Don't worry. I'm Satoru Gojo.
Mm-hmm.
Strongest.
Confident, strong, and idiotic.
Do you see yourself as superior? Yeah, she's just been using all the physical attacks so far, which wouldn't pose much of a threat to Gojo like that, but...
Calm.
Ow! Okay, that was a cool shot. Oh boy! Flamethrowers.
I should be good, since you're so weak.
I enjoy the voice acting. I think they're doing a good job. Oh. Right.
Bang! Bang!
Ow.
Bang!
Oh god, his leg came off!
Now, be a good boy and play dead.
Oh, is that...
Should I bark too? I'm getting really tired of your pets.
Are we getting to Unlimited Void? Maybe? I can't even tell anymore. I don't even know if I should try. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go.
Unlimited void.
Okay.
Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Okay. Is that it? Did Gojo win? Eliminated Control Devil. He won! Wow!
So do you think that place is offering discounts?
Okay, I want to hear how though.
Yeah, I'll order online.
Gojo and Makima were complicated to compare. On
Yes.
the surface level, Gojo had a lot going for him.
It's no surprise, given that his reputation in Jujutsu Kaisen is that of its pinnacle.
Yes.
At least it was.
First of all, it's
Right,
unlikely
Sukuna, yeah,
Makima
yeah.
would see Gojo as inferior to her, in a similar way to how she saw Denji. So
Yeah.
she wouldn't be able to immediately control Gojo.
Gojo's
Okay,
birth caused a
fair
giant
enough.
shift in the world of curses. Plenty of people have recognized that after only seeing him once. Being better than everyone is literally Gojo's thing.
Plus, Gojo
Okay, yeah.
automatically refreshes his brain with positive cursed energy 24/7.
Yeah.
Even if Makima could control him, it wouldn't last very long.
Gojo was obviously
Interesting.
stronger too. The best feat we can compare Makima to is the Typhoon Devil's Storms. But
Right.
that's nothing compared to the meteor created by Jojo.
Well, it's about
who
half
is
as much.
below Gojo in strength.
However,
I wouldn't say
considering she
nothing,
reacted
but
to
yeah,
the
half
Gun
as
Devil
much.
Fragment, Makima would actually be a bit faster.
There we
Though
go, yeah,
she
yeah,
would
yeah.
need to be able to get past Limitless for her speed to matter.
Makima had more
Right.
devils than you can shake a fin at, but most were rendered moot against Limitless. Knives, fire, bombs, zombies.
Yeah.
It's all stuff.
I guess I was
Gojo's
focusing on
dealt
that
with
one
before,
attack that
and with
wouldn't be
zero
rendered
issues.
limitless.
Gojo could
I
easily
mean,
wipe out
useless,
her
sorry.
demonic crowd with red and blue whenever he wanted to.
The future devil could clue her in on anything nasty coming her way, but that wouldn't last forever. Plus, with Gojo's 6 eyes and teleportation, she had 0 opportunities to break away and set up her instant kill moves.
But Gojo
Okay.
would obviously lose if he couldn't permanently kill Makima.
Yeah.
Six Eyes couldn't inform him of Makima's contract with the Prime Minister, and eventually one of Gojo's attacks could cause his death instead.
Yeah,
even if it took a
if we're
while.
looking at it that
Makima
way.
did have a way past Limitless with her finger guns.
Yes.
Makima could land attacks directly on Gojo's body, meaning there's no projectile for Limitless to detect and infinitely slow down.
Mm-hmm.
But when they did land, Gojo's healing ensured that he repaired his body quickly.
On the flip side, Makima didn't have a counter to Gojo's domain expansion. Unlimited Void overloads its target with unlimited information.
Yep.
It's not really an attack.
You could call it an attack on the senses, but even if she could transfer it to other Japanese citizens, she still could not escape an infinite amount of information.
We
Right.
can compare this to the Doll Devil, who
Nice
was defeated
transition.
by a technique similar to Unlimited Void.
Despite being able to transfer her mind across a large number of hosts, the Doll Devil was still trying to transfer infinite information across finite people. Even with all of Japan as mental meat shields, Makima would still be overwhelmed.
Wait, doesn't that mean Gojo just unintentionally killed basically everyone in Japan?
Wouldn't he also affect himself too?
Regardless, Gojo is immune to his own unlimited void.
Oh,
so
okay.
he was still unaffected.
Literally just answered my
The
question.
moment Unlimited Void landed, Makima would be stuck, opening her up for a good old hollow purple.
Her contract isn't perfect. Makima only ever regenerated as long as there was some mass to come back from.
But
Okay.
Hollow Purple disintegrates anything it touches to 0. Literally.
Yes.
There's no way she was regenerating from that.
Sure, control as a concept will always exist, but a reincarnation of the Control Devil
Okay, so
isn't Makima.
they said
This was
some
one of the
things I thought they
craziest
were
fights
going
we've
to,
ever
and some
had.
things
However,
I
with
didn't
Gojo's
think they were
raw
going
power,
to.
broken counters, and
But
unbelievably busted
The
Limitless,
two moves that I
Makima
thought could
lost
work on
control over
Makima
this fight.
actually
Makima thought
could,
she had
in their
Gojo
eyes
by the ball
anyway.
and chain, but in the end,
This is gonna be
she
so
was left
controversial.
hollow.
The winner is Satoru Gojo.
All right, good job, Gojo. This is gonna be such a controversial
Thanks for
episode.
watching, and hey, are
Also,
you a
there
Death
were
Battle
some
member?
people who
We've
may
got
have been
a ballot
implying
going on
that
right now,
there's
and
actually
members
like a
get to
more
choose a
legit
matchup for
Halloween
the next
episode
season.
coming
So
after
click that
this.
join button and jump into our
And I
champions
still want to
Discord.
say Mysterio versus Scarecrow, but I don't know. Oh, is it Scooby versus Courage? Yo! Okay, let me just wait for this to finish. Yeah, Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. Wow. Okay, so that definitely is more of a Halloween episode. Okay, seeing them in a fight to the death is gonna be kind of hilarious. But this is not what I was expecting. I was saying for so long that I thought, Mysterio versus Scarecrow makes sense as an upcoming Halloween episode. I was even saying that before, right before Gojo versus Makima was announced. So yeah, I clearly got that wrong. But Scooby-Doo versus Courage, this is actually a really pleasant surprise. I was never fully sure if they were going to do this episode. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm gonna be excited for that because, you know, I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo when I was a kid. Not as much courage, but, you know, I still think this is gonna be a fun episode. So we'll see how all that goes. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that. I guess just don't expect a prediction super soon from me because, again, with work in the way, there's only like a limited amount of time that I have now in the day to like make these videos. And I just, you know, I'm definitely not going to be able to do it tonight. Even if I can do it tomorrow, it might not be early enough that I can, you know, that I can post it tomorrow. So, you know, we'll see. But I am excited for that. I will make a prediction for it. But anyway, yeah, talking about this episode, because I don't really have much more to say about Scooby versus Courage. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Again, there's a lot of information to take in, and I know that there are going to be some things that some people don't agree with. Again, the whole like unlimited void, I think, is a little iffy just because, like, I thought I could have sworn there was something about like how well, because like cutting the whole Denji thing about like how it wasn't considered an attack because it was like an act of love or whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess I kind of just used that as a way to think it's about the intent of what you're doing, because cutting someone up is still an attack, you know, but it's the intent that changed it. But they're interpreting it as, you know, they're giving someone information. That means it's not really an attack, which, you know, I can understand. You know, there's, if anything, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, if there's anything that I'm missing, you know, that's believable. You know, it's believable I could miss something. I trust Death Battle to catch things that maybe I wouldn't catch, you know? So maybe for someone who watches Jujutsu Kaisen or even just Chainsaw Man, it would make more sense. But, you know, they had a lot of stuff to go over, so I don't blame them if I'm not able to immediately look at it from like a really good angle, I guess. So you know, I don't really have an issue with the conclusion itself. Like, I still was thinking that Gojo, you know, had his own advantages. But, you know, again, with Makima's speed and with the fact that she has something that could hurt Gojo, again, just him being considered a Japanese citizen, like, I was thinking, like, okay, so at this point, like, it's just getting stacked more and more to the point where Makima does have a logical through line for winning. But again, with Hollow Purple, I was actually really surprised they did go that angle, even though in my prediction video, I thought they were going to go that angle. But as they were talking about in this video, it's like, oh, they're not really talking about it that much. Like, they talk about it a little bit, but they didn't go into like any science about it or anything. So I was thinking, oh, they probably won't bring it back, but they actually did. So, you know, Death Battle still finds ways to surprise me, and I really like that. So I didn't, you know, I enjoyed the analyses, learning about the characters. This is one of the episodes I'm going to have to watch more times just so I can really absorb everything. And these do seem like really cool series. Again, something like Killua versus Misako, which is right over there. You know, that's not my favorite episode of the season, but something that I really appreciate about it is that they really got me to appreciate the characters and their stories when I really didn't know them before, you know? And for this, you know, I'd say this is pretty similar, you know, maybe not to the same extent, but again, I feel like it's just something I'm gonna have to watch again to really get all that information. So I really do appreciate all that work they put into the characters, both in terms of, you know, analyzing their capabilities, but also analyzing them as characters. And for the animation, yeah, I enjoyed the animation too. It felt maybe a little short to me, but I don't know, maybe I was glossing over some parts or something. It was still fun to watch, though. Like, I enjoyed all the devils showing up. Like, that was really cool. So, the hand-drawn bits, I can think of at least two of them in there that I really, really liked. And yeah, I really wasn't sure who was going to win. I did really enjoy the ending with, like, how they made Unlimited Void. That was really cool. And again, I really wasn't sure, like, was she going to turn the tables again? I didn't know, but no, that's the way it worked, and it was really fun for me to watch. So yeah, I again, like, this is gonna be such a controversial episode, but I enjoyed it as someone who, you know, is not gonna get upset from these things, partially because I don't know the characters, you know, to the same extent as other people, but also because, you know, this is just an internet show. But you know, I enjoyed it for what it was, at least. And if you want to argue about it in the comments, you can go right ahead. Just know I will not join the arguments, and I probably won't care. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.